hold on, y'all. We need preface because I feel like sometimes we talk about things just because we're talking, but we need to explain. Okay.
True. They don't know the backstory.
Yeah, they don't know the backstory. I don't know the full backstory. So JW told me that you used to sell vintage. How does that work? You used to sell vintage clothing?
Before class, I would show up like a couple hours early and I would go to the thrift stores around like the area. I'm going to get shit for this because apparently everyone hates resellers now, but it's like, I don't care. Like, I'll be okay. And I'd like buy and sell vintage clothing for like if my class was at 2, I would show up at like 9 and just go thrifting until 2.
Oh, that's a long time.
And it was like, it was really fun. Like I had an Etsy, I had a Depop and an eBay, and it was doing really good. But at a certain point, it was like, I want to be a full-time artist. I don't want to be selling vintage clothing my whole life, you know?
How did you know to do that?
I've been thrifting for like, I don't know, maybe 6 years now. And like, I would find some stuff that was really cool. I'd wear it. And then maybe after a while it didn't fit or something. And I would sell it and be like, oh, wow, this stuff like actually has a lot of value to it. So when I would go thrifting, I would like pick up a couple other pieces that I knew also had value, right? And then that was like before art took off, right? So it was like I would do art and I would do vintage, and it kind of like became like a sustainable job, like having those two together when art wasn't doing too well, right? But now it's like art's doing good. I don't want to be in a thrift store for like 8 hours a day anymore, you know? So that's how I got into it.
That's so nuts. Do you go to different ones or you're just in one?
I would go to like 5 in a day at my peak.
And you just look through everything?
Yeah. I had like a whole method. Like I was friends with all the employees. Like we'd talk, like occasionally they would like hand me stuff, which was really nice. Like it was cool. I definitely miss it, but it's like, especially with COVID now, it's like, I'm not going to go thrifting right now.
Yeah. So you would sell them, and now you just have an eye for these super cool vintage clothes, and it blows my mind. Just the market too, just everything about it. I didn't understand. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I'm sure there's some people listening who are in the same mindset as me. Well, not anymore. JW blew my mind. Okay. So I asked JW, I said, dude, all your shirts are so cool. And I'm gonna be honest, because all I wear is this Fewocious hoodie, and I think I need to up my game a little bit. And JW has his watch, and he has different hats all the time, and different shirts that are cool and have like cool pictures. And I said, dang, I want cool shirts. And so I told my partner, JW has all the swag. I want to have some swag too. And so I tried.
I don't have swag.
You have all the swag. So I tried looking through stores, like normal department stores, to find cool clothes. But all of them were so cheesy or looked really stale or boring. But JW's always has something to it. So I asked him, what do you do? And he said, oh, all my clothes are like vintage. And then he told me his Batman backstory. But it blew my mind that there's this market of people who are buying like these old shirts. Because to me, I was like, I don't know, it's just an old shirt. Who cares? But it's a whole thing. It's a whole world.
It's insane. And when you get into it deep enough, like there's a couple of shirts going for over $5,000 now.
Dude, yeah. I was looking to buy my own shirts and stuff, and all the shirts I liked were really expensive. It was like $700, but it wasn't like it was a designer brand that you think of like Gucci or Louis Vuitton. It was just an old shirt that like is rare and from a certain time, and only so many were printed. But in my head, when I thought expensive clothes, I limited myself to like designer brands. I never really thought about the collectible date aspect.
Yeah,
which blew my mind.
A whole new world, right? I love it. And especially like buying used is so much better. You can like pretend like you're making a huge impact, which like I haven't bought new clothes, and like some things I buy new, obviously, right? But like t-shirts and coats, like I haven't bought a new coat in like 4 years or 3 years even. Like It's like you can really lower your impact that way. I love it.
Do you ever buy a coat or a shirt and you're like, dang, I wonder who wore this before me?
Yeah. Sometimes I'll think like, oh, I bought this from a thrift store, and then, or maybe I'll buy it online. Be like, okay, so this guy bought it thrifting, and then someone wore it before him. Did someone before him buy it from a thrift store too? Like, how many times has that been recycled through a thrift store or like sold online? That's always weird to me.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I bought this shirt. It was like a Las Vegas shirt, like a college shirt, and it was old. And it was in New York. And I said, why was this shirt that you
Yeah.
could have only gotten here in New York? And I said, did someone just buy it? Like, I don't know. But like I thought about this whole story. I'm like, what if they went to college here in the 90s and then they made this whole
Yeah.
lore?
That's the best part about it. It has like a story to it almost. Like, especially like well-worn vintage clothing, you could tell whoever wore it last loved it. And that's cool to
Mhm.
me. Should I get into it?
Yeah, show us, JW. He put together
All
an
right.
epic collection.
This is one of my favorites. This is MC Escher from the 90s.
That shirt is so dope. This is the shirt I saw him wearing where I said, I need to start getting into vintage clothes.
Isn't that crazy? Like, and then you can like, oh, you can't see it. You can like see through it. It's been worn so much.
That's a beautiful shirt.
Yeah,
And I
with,
love
like, all
how
the weird stuff on the
the
side.
print is like everywhere. There's no limitation. So many shirts are just
Yeah.
like a little tiny print.
These are like super popular. Yeah, the Oliver print. Like a lot of new brands now are like copying vintage style.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. That's one of my favorites. This was one of my first thrift finds, and I didn't know it was vintage when I got it, but I just liked it. It's the Mona Lisa I Love You a Latte.
It's a fire shirt.
And like something about vintage shirts I really love is the quality. Like, this isn't digital printing. This is all silkscreen. And this is like almost 30 years old.
The color is
still
so
holding up.
vibrant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got this on vacation in Victoria.
That's so
Pretty
cool.
cool. Yeah, that's a good one. It's a boring one, but Picasso, favorite artist. Have to get a
Boring.
shirt from
How
him.
can you say that's boring?
It's not my favorite. There's cooler Picassos.
But I tried
Yeah.
finding a shirt like this new and I couldn't find one. Unless it
Yeah,
was someone
I don't-
weird
they
like
don't make
printing
them.
it in their room and like
Yeah, off like eBay.
yeah.
I don't really wear it though.
Why?
This one's one of my favorites. My dad went to this concert and he gave it to me.
It's so nuts.
Yeah. Pink Floyd, I think 87. Yep.
Yeah, the story behind it is cool.
Yeah. Like, my dad wore this. He had it. He went to the concert with his buddies. Like, it's not like a brand new shirt that killed the environment and like sits in someone's closet. Like, every shirt I own, like, it sounds so nerdy, but like when I do laundry, like, I get so hyped. It's like every shirt that I like put on a hanger has like a cool story or like something, right? It's a classic 90s Misfits, thrashed. I look like with the bald head, I don't look very happy when I wear this shirt, so I don't really wear it a lot, but I like it. It's another one. I got this one recently. It's
That
a
one's
90,
really dope.
yeah. It's a bootleg from Italy. Pretty cool. They had this show in Italy. I think it was this show where like they were only supposed to have 20,000 people show up or something, but I think over 100,000 people showed up to this concert and like destroyed like the heart of Italy or something.
Whoa.
And there was all this like garbage and like destruction.
I did not know that.
Fun fact. Pink Floyd, great band.
I agree.
These two are kind of boring. This one's cool though. Metallica. I don't really wear this all that often. This one glows in the dark. It's this rare version from 94. Of course, I can't. Maybe I could show you. Let's see. Ready? I'm gonna close my blind.
see,
It might
everybody.
glow. Ready?
Everybody look for the grand. Oh
I
wow,
know.
look, it's really dark. I told
I mean,
JW he
you-
needs to wear that and play laser tag.
That would, yeah. I play laser tag a lot, right? So it would make sense.
Yeah.
I'll skip this one. This one's boring, but this is like one of my favorites. It's kind of, I'm a grown man wearing a cat shirt, but I love it.
Oh, but talk about the whole collection.
Yeah, this is I think his name's B. Clyban, but I say Kilbin. I think that's wrong. He worked for Playboy. He was an illustrator. And then when he was older, he did a lot of his own stuff. So this is on a brand called Crazy Shirts. Like if you ever go to Hawaii or like Guam, you'll see these. But this is a vintage one. I figured like I love Hawaii, I love biking, and I love cats and vintage shirts. The shirt's made for me, like I love it.
That's so cool.
Those are all the ones I grabbed, but I definitely have way too many more. A bit more in the hobby. It's an addiction. It's a lifestyle.